node and these 2 chaos nodes. That usually leaves me grabbing Nature's Boon and Nature's Adrenaline, and then grabbing some small nodes for the flask effect and duration. So I don't typically like to run a Pathfinder. The new belt, Tides of Time, is relatively inexpensive. 4.5 divine for 3 charges. We'll just call it 5. You're going to want to get 3 charges for utility flask with this bad boy. So you get 3 charges every 3 seconds on utility flask, and then you're going to pair that with the Brutal Restraint Timeless Jewel that has blah blah is ball blah blah. What the fuck is that word? Ball blah 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 blah. So you're gonna want the blah 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 blah, and that gives you the trader flask. Sorry, I'm laughing. I've never actually read it, and it's blah blah blah. You can't say anything other than blah blah blah, and it's not even BLA. It's ball ball ah ball ah. But no, it's blah blah blah. Okay, back to the fucking review. Oh shit! I should restart this, but I'm not gonna. Flash charges gain 4 charges per empty flash slot, and I have 1 empty flash slot. So every 5 seconds, I'm getting 4 charges there. And then I have some of these tattoos that give me that duration that the Pathfinder gives you, that the Trickster obviously does not have. So I'm getting most of the benefit of the Pathfinder from 1 jewel, which I was going to grab anyways, because 20% elemental damage, 20% elemental damage, accuracy, elemental damage, blind, we're not going to be poisoning, avoid stun, which is pretty good to have a little bit of, 4% life, and another 20% elemental damage. This is already like 100% elemental damage with some blind and life on there, so I'm already going to get it. So it's not that big of a deal to grab this bad boy, and I got this for a divine. I don't know if it's, okay, 2 divine, 4 divine. I bought this a long time ago. Not really that expensive for the 49999999999. And then you grab these nodes here. I like it because 25% chance to gain a flash charge when you deal a critical strike is actually pretty good for bosses. You're going to fight some bosses, you're going to deal with some critical strikes, it's going to keep it up. Now my lightning flask and my fire flask do not have full sustainability, especially Dying Sun. And Dying Sun is really good with bow builds, and having it recharge is real nice. But another thing I don't like about the Pathfinder is that the node on the Pathfinder that improves the effect of potions is only for magic potions, only for the blue potions, and I hate rolling the blue potions. And the blue potions that are rolled well that you go to buy are expensive because they're a pain in the ass to roll. I almost want to program a bot that can scan the screen and then just hold a button until it rolls what I want it to, but I don't think there's a button to auto roll like that. But yeah, I don't really like rolling potions. I really like unique potions. And the power you get is huge for these unique potions. The Progenesis, while very, very pricey, I think it was 69 divine when I got it. It's still about 69 divine now. Very expensive, but the defenses you get with this potion are insane. I can't even talk today. Are insane. And if you're pairing it with this body armor and a bunch of endurance charges like I am, you have the regeneration to where the downside of this, where it recurs over 4 seconds, isn't even a downside. You're just getting like 30% less damage taken, bar none. And for each one of these, after the change, the +5 to cold resistance, when you're not really doing anything else to pump this up that much, is excellent. And I'm getting it on all 4. So my elemental resistances are covered. My physical resistances are covered from endurance charges. And then I'm taking reduced damage on top. This is a very powerful kit. And if you don't use projectiles and you want to use a regular ruby flask or bottle of faith or any other rare potion that you want to put in there, or unique potion, I mean, that will work as well. Or you can just take this bad boy off and then get another 4 charges every 5 seconds, and I wonder if that will keep my lightning potion sustained. And no, it does not keep the lightning potion sustained. It's close. I'm gonna let it charge up one more time. But I think I have about 13 of these tattoos. I don't think they were that expensive. The spell suppress tattoos that I have are pretty expensive. I think it's 4 for a divine, 3 for a divine. I didn't see if it auto-triggered. But I just wanted to highlight that you can pretty much be a Pathfinder at any class with this little setup. It's not that difficult of a setup. It's also not that expensive. It's almost fully up. It's also not that expensive. One downside is you don't necessarily need these. You could take these off, but it is really nice to put these on there. So I keep these on there, which is nice for the Pathfinder, for the polymath. But yeah, you pretty much just become a Billy Badass, and I'll just run a map to show me being a Billy Badass. Using, didn't get the divine. How can that bad boy like this? And I just started using payload. I haven't ever used it before. I kind of like it. I'm not sure it's stronger. It's definitely better for mapping because it just throws arrows everywhere. But I'm not sure it's better for bossing. I'll still probably use Barrage. If you look at my flask, they're just up. Always. Always up, and it's keeping my defenses going pretty strong. Resistance is 82. I don't have any other max resistances, so the extra quality or extra effect I'm getting is giving me +2. And that flask has 25% extra effect. And I think if you just got it a little bit more, that'll pump it up to 83, which it did with the bonus I get from Sulfite, which is a great bonus. But the flask are always up. You're pretty safe. It's much cheaper than a Mage Blood. Unless you count the Progenesis and the cost. You don't necessarily need the Progenesis. It's just the strongest potion in the game. Maybe one of the most defensive items in the game if you can keep it sustained like this. And as you see, it's just up. It's nice. I need to drop my damage for this boss though, so I'm gonna unlink a few things that give me a lot of damage, so I can see if I'm sustaining with that chance to gain a flask on critical strike. And my critical strike chance is actually really low, especially when I don't have my assassin mark up. But on the boss, I will have assassin mark, which will greatly improve my critical strike chance. Greater multiple projectiles, which is allowing me to clear these lighter maps really fast, but it does seem like it's taking a huge hit on my damage. I did have crit multi on instead of that for a long time, and I've been trying to roll 5 greens and 1 red, and I finally got it. It took a lot of Vol Orbs, but I finally got it. So now I can have a little more flexibility with my green gems. Another really good skill to use with this setup is hypothermia. But we don't care about this setup. I'm not here to talk about this build. I'm here to talk about these potions that I'm getting. Okay, my Dying Sun is about... Oh, it almost went off cooldown, but, you know, I got a lot of blast regain. So, no cooldown elimination. So let us get rid of my main damage dealer here. And see if the crit is helping my Dying Sun. Yeah, the crit is helping my Dying Sun. I wouldn't have had that sustain without the crit, gain a flash charge on crit, so that is a really nice node to have if you're critting. And my crit chance is very low, as I said, so let's go to Frenzy, chance to crit, defense, chance to crit, 48%. I mean, it's not terrible, but, you know, for A build like this, 48%, is pretty low. Especially because I can't use anything but Grace as an aura. Gonna be something good? Right here? Oh, trash. Okay, I think that's all I had to talk about. You guys, take it easy. Everyone should become a Pathfinder as a non-Pathfinder. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. It's not really that expensive. You get one of these bad boys. Let's just put your budget at 2 divine to pick one that you like. And then this guy's 5. So for 7 divine, you're pretty much cooking. Then you spend another 2 divine on these flasks, or 1 divine, depending on how many you want. And you're good to go. And I bet there's other ways to get flask effect. Most of my items are unique items, so I don't have any real options for cool shit. I mean, I only have 3 items that aren't unique, and these ones are very expensive and difficult to roll. Yeah. Anywho, become a Pathfinder without being a Pathfinder.